Hello, I'm Rick Roos.
And I'm Rick Berry of the Sons and Daughters of Liberty in Madison, Indiana.
In the past year, we have thought up and produced, with the help of our local #1 in the market radio station, several radio ads.
These ads were opinion pieces.
This is an arrogance alert. We have a congressman in Washington, D.C. who rules from Washington, D.C. with expensive mailings rather than listening to or meeting with his constituents. Baron Hill has not had a town hall meeting in Madison since 2003. Last summer, the Baron said he would not have any meetings because he was afraid that those that disagreed with him on any issue he and the Obama regime favor might blow up the meetings. Political terrorists, he called United States citizens. In a meeting he was shamed into having in Bloomington, he said to one of his subjects who questioned why she could not videotape his meeting,
"This is my town hall meeting, and I set the rules, and you're not going to tell me how to run my congressional office."
Yes, folks, the Baron actually has a policy where no constituent can tape a meeting where he appears. Since then, Rick Berry and I have run 4 nonpartisan town hall meetings, and the Baron ducked every one. Well, Mr. Hill, we're not terrorists, but come November, we have a message for you and your pompous arrogance as well as soft tyranny. We, the people, and the Constitution set the rules, and you're fired. I'm Rick Roos, and I know the Sons and Daughters of Liberty endorsed this message. We paid for it.
Citizens of Southern Indiana, I'm calling on you to make a statement, a change. I'm Dr. Michael Israel, and last spring it became clear to me that Congress was going to pass the travesty commonly known as Obamacare. Our so-called representative, Baron Hill, stepped right up and told us he didn't care what we wanted. He knew best. Now we have a law that no one read, that by design and necessity will lower quality, ration care, and take away many of your doctors and your choices. When I saw Mr. Hill in Washington, just before he voted for Obamacare, he said, quote, "We need this," and hurriedly shuffled away. Well, Mr. Hill, we didn't need this, and we don't need you. Come November, you'll be looking for a new job. Proudly paid for by the Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Hello, everybody. Nothing contributes to a recession quite like fear about the future. Today, our government is terrifying us. Obamacare is a bureaucratic nightmare, betraying promises of savings and actually increasing costs, leaving employers trying to find ways to cut payrolls. The $800 billion stimulus bill is bankrupting our country and would not have been possible if not for borrowed dollars from communist China. It is not creating jobs as promised. The President and Congress will move forward with the energy tax, which in the President's own words will cause utility bills to skyrocket and bankrupt new coal initiatives. The 2001 tax cuts will be allowed to expire, ushering in the largest tax hike in American history, and we wonder why nobody is hiring. Sadly, our Congressman Baron Hill has supported all this legislation. Amazingly, he is now sending out expensive flyers, paid for by you, touting his fiscal responsibility. I ask you, who is he trying to kid? Paid for by the Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Promotions for our own events.
Government taking over private industry, government taking over your health care, government redistribution of your income, mounds and mounds of debt piled on our children, illegals everywhere, American jobs going to the communist Chinese. Do these things scare you to death but you feel helpless? Not anymore. Come join your friends and neighbors for Madison's first Freedom Rally, where at the Riverboat Inn located in downtown Madison on April 17th, that's a Saturday, starting at 3 p.m. It's time we took control of Washington. Let's show those crooked politicians that they're supposed to represent us to Washington, not Washington to us. So don't miss it. Again, that's at the Riverboat Inn located in downtown Madison on April 17th, starting at 3 p.m. Bring a friend and bring a chair. Remember, together we will prevail. This ad paid for by Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Attention, common sense patriots. This is Lisa Sang of the Sons and Daughters of Liberty. We're going to have another tea party Saturday, April 16th. Come to the Riverboat Inn in beautiful Madison, Indiana. Come join your fellow patriots. Featured speakers start at noon and include candidate for Senate Richard Murdoch, conservative activist Tony Rutherford, talk show host Les Naiman, former U.S. Congressman Mike Sodrell, and author of The Devil in Your Backyard, Dave Bago. Many other citizen patriots just like you.
And our own radio programs.
Hi, I'm Rick Berry of the Sons and Daughters of Liberty. I'd like to invite you to join Rick Bruce and I as we host Turning Point on Monday, February 28th from 6 to 7 p.m. Our guests will be area business people Roger Allman of King's Daughters Hospital and Frank Mingione of Fast Plastics. We will be talking about government regulations and their impact on businesses which employ local citizens. Thank you, and hope you listen in.
These were all in the cause of liberty and the freedoms we enjoy as Americans.
We're not radio personalities, nor did we have previous radio experience, but we all did have a belief in our cause, much as Thomas Paine did in his writing a few hundred years ago.
First, we wrote the script for the ad. We figured that at a 20 font, around a half of a page, single space, this would yield about a 30-second ad.
I know you. Like me, you fear for our country's future. It's time to get involved. Come to the Riverboat Inn in Madison at noon on Saturday, April 16th to find out how. Listen to dynamic speaker and Indiana State Treasurer Richard Murdoch, businessman and author of The Devil at My Doorstep, David Bego, who personally took on Andy Stern and the SEIU and won, Congressman Mike Sodrell, the great voice of liberty Les Naiman of WGTK, and many others. There's little time to waste. Your country depends on you. Time to step up. Presented by the Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Attention, Patriots. This is Rick Roos of the Sons and Daughters of Liberty. Please join my partner Rick Berry and I as we host Rick and Rick at Night on Monday, April 25th from 6 to 7 p.m. Our guest will be U.S. Senator from Kentucky, Rand Paul. We will be talking about issues of liberty and personal freedom. This program is yet another front in the domestic war against soft tyranny, socialism, and government oppression. Please join us, the voice of liberty in southern Indiana and northern Kentucky, Monday night the 25th at 6 p.m. here on Wiki.
Around a full page at 20 font would yield about a 60-second ad.
Hello, Madison. My name is Pam Smith. Speaking as a woman, I am very worried about the children growing up in our great country. Not about their grades, their friends, or what they might be doing on the weekend, but I'm fearful about the country they are going to inherit. I wonder every day what their world is going to be like when they graduate from high school or college. Will they have the same chance we had of getting a good job, owning a home, and raising a family in comfort? We need leaders who will cut our spending in Washington, cut taxes, and shrink the massive government that is dictating every aspect of our lives. They have bankrupted this country, and it must stop. Please join us in an early voter rally being held on October 2nd from 1 to 4 p.m. in downtown Madison at the Riverboat Inn. Along with music, we will have a number of powerful speakers, such as talk show host Mandy Connell and Les Naiman, State Treasurer Richard Murdoch, Patriot Tony Rutherford, and candidate Todd Young. Join us in standing against the corruption, the failed policies, and the disregard for the Constitution, and for the will of the American people. Paid for by the Sons and Daughters of Liberty.
Hello, Madison. Let me describe the Tea Party movement in 8 words. Small government, strong defense, fiscal responsibility, personal liberty. I know, pretty radical stuff, huh? Despite what you may hear, it is made up of normal, everyday Americans who fear for the future of our country. Before our eyes, the government is growing at a rapid pace while the private sector is shrinking. The EPA, for example, grew 35% just this past year alone. We are hiring 17,000 new IRS workers to enforce a health care law 60% of us don't want. The government has spent $787 billion borrowed dollars for a stimulus that has had little effect. Now they want to do another. This obscene growth demands more of our tax dollars and is simply unsustainable. The founders' worst nightmares coming true. Now we see our government siding with foreign leaders against our own people, as well as suing them for simply trying to enforce existing law. Unbelievable. Show your support and come to our Freedom Concert Saturday, July 10th at the Riverboat Inn from 6 o'clock to 9 p.m. There will be inspiring speeches and great music. Get rid of the D or R next to your name and replace it with an A. American. This is Rick Berry. Thank you.
I'm a physical therapist, and I do home health and hospice visits in 3 counties in southeast Indiana. During the day, I proofed, practiced, and perfected this script, while at a complete stop, of course, so as to lessen the actual time of taping, just because we're all busy.
I run a computerized embroidery business. I practiced the script. We also picked out music to serve as our background for our ads. First, we went with a patriotic type of theme.
Do you feel like your opinion doesn't count in politics? We believe your opinions do matter and are important. Democracy holds that if ordinary people are given the facts, they can decide for themselves what is in their best interest. We should not rely on the benevolence of our leaders to decide what is best for us. Tune in Sunday morning between 10:30 and 11 a.m. to listen to Turning Point, a radio show that wants to give you the opportunity to be heard. Turning Point is sponsored by the Jefferson County Sons and Daughters of Liberty and Tri-State Mobile Home Parts and Service. Remember, the Sons and Daughters of Liberty spell freedom, V-O-T-E.
The Tea Party movement is gaining strength everywhere, and Jefferson County, Indiana is no exception. The Tea Party is a spontaneous reaction by regular citizens to big, intrusive government, a grassroots movement that believes in the value of hard work and investment. Tune in Sunday morning between 10:30 and 11 a.m. and listen to Turning Point and learn more about the Tea Party movement. Turning Point is sponsored by the Jefferson County Sons and Daughters of Liberty and Tri-State Mobile Home Parts and Service. Remember, the Sons and Daughters of Liberty spell freedom, V-O-T-E.